What's my superpower? I remember being 18 years old and going to a social work office with my mother on Flatbush in Brooklyn, New York. And this wasn't like any other appointment that she had. This appointment was going to change our life. Now, I knew that we were on welfare. I knew that we were beyond or below the poverty level, but for some reason, this appointment felt like a game changer for me. And while I was excited, I was also nervous because I knew that these people, these case managers, would really dictate and control our income, our ability to eat and live. But at the end of the day, I had to be ready. And so at 18 years old, I went into the case manager's office with my mother, and she passed on her case manager to me. I was now about to receive my own food stamps, my own cash that I could do what I wanted to do with. And while I was excited, I also knew that this was just the beginning. I had to figure out how to do something else with my life. And sure enough, not too long afterwards, I was called in for my own case management meeting, and I had my daughter on my arm. She was 2 years old, and the case manager looked at me and said, "Well, why is she with you?" I said, "What do you mean, why is she with me?" "She's not on your case, so why do you have her with you?" And I looked at her and I said, "Because she's my daughter." And she said, "Well, if she's not on your case and she's your child, then we have to come to your house. We have to see your living conditions, who lives in the house with you, and whether or not she can remain in the house with you." And in that moment, my whole life flashed before my eyes. And I said, there's absolutely no way this woman, this system is going to dictate what I do, how I live, and how I raise my child. She told me that I needed to go to the office downstairs to collect a token and that they would make an appointment to come and see me. I looked at her and said, "You don't have to worry about me." I walked away with fire in my eyes and my child by my side and vowed to never come back. At this time, I was 20 years old. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life, but I knew that I was going to make something of it. And as I was walking out, something bigger hit me, a weight that I couldn't really comprehend. And I asked myself, how are other people dealing with this? And it was in that moment that I had a glimpse of my superpower, to take an adverse condition and transform it into something great. Without knowing, without seeing, but I had hope, I had belief. It was something beyond what I could see at that moment. And I walked out of that office. I did not go get that token. I walked home and I never came back. Just when you think life has done life on you, something else comes around. It was Friday, October 13th, 2017, and I had to make that call. See, 2 months prior, I'd gone into the emergency room because I had a pain under my left arm, and for 2 months, they couldn't diagnose me. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. They couldn't tell me why my breast was filling up. They couldn't tell me why I was in so much pain. Appointment after appointment after appointment, and finally, I got a resolve. Now, they normally don't do this, but because I had so many co-pays and so many visits to the office, the doctor said, "You can call in for your results." And so I called in, and I had one of my good girlfriends on the phone with me. She was a nurse. And the doctor said those words that you never want to hear. "You have breast cancer." And everything in me stopped. I didn't know what to do with that. I tried to process what she was saying, but all I could hear was inflammatory, triple negative, aggressive, late stage 3, rapid growth. It was all too much. And when I hung up the phone, my friend tried to help me understand, but I didn't know what that meant for me. I had so many thoughts, so many feelings inside. My mind was racing. What do I tell my children? How do I tell my children? Will I be able to work? Will I be able to take care of them? Will I wake up in the morning? What if I don't wake up in the morning? My appointments with my oncologist, I wish I could say I had clarity. I wish I could say that I felt the glimmer of hope. I wish I could say that I was strong and positive, but I can't because I wasn't. I did not understand what was happening to me and in me. I felt out of control. But through that process, I learned that although things got tough, confusing, there was a strength, a power that rose up in me to help me stay the course. And so here I am, chemo, radiation, 7 surgeries later, here to tell you that you are resilient, that you are strong. And it was the lessons that I learned in the midst of the confusion and the pain that helped me to get where I am today. It was a day just like any other day. I'm out to lunch with one of my homies. We're just chilling. And we're on our way back to the car. I get a phone call. And the phone call shattered my world. It's my sister on the other end frantically telling me that my mother wouldn't answer the phone. And when they were able to get through, her foster child answered the phone, but she wouldn't say anything. And so everybody's trying to get my mom. My mom lived in Baltimore. My family lived in New York. Well, they still live in New York. And I was in D.C. at the time, so no one could get to her right away. But thank God there was a neighbor who lived next door that had my mother's key. So she came to the house. She called EMT. The next call that I got was from my mother's friend. She put the first responder on the phone and said, "Ms. Palmer, I'm sorry, but your mother's not responding." She's not responsive. I said, "What do you mean she's not responsive?" She said, "She's not responding." And in that moment, I knew that the lupus that had plagued my mother's life had finally taken her at the young age of 56. The next day, me and my family, there's 7 of us, we went to see my mother's body. And as I watched my mother laying there, lifeless, I knew that it wasn't the end. There were so many memories. There were so many lessons that my mother taught me while she was here on this earth. And those lessons were her fruit and her legacy. And the one lesson that always stays with me is the power of perseverance. That no matter what we go through, no matter how many meals we missed, no matter how many times we couldn't get up and go outside because we didn't have clean clothes, no matter what it was, we still had to keep our heads held high. We had to get up and start over, no matter how many times we had to start over. The important thing is that we were able to stand. My mother left here from this physical plane, but her lessons, what she taught me, the way she modeled her life for me, will always remain. What would I say to my 21-year-old self? Monique, I know life is difficult right now and you can't see your way through. You're jumping from job to job, struggling to take care of your baby. And you don't know how you're going to make it. You're helping your mom take care of your siblings. But I want you to think about this. You don't have to continue to live a life of sacrifice. I know you want people to love you. I know you want to take care of everything. But if you keep sacrificing yourself, putting your needs on hold, you're going to burn out. Life is going to suck the life out of you. You need to know that you are important, that your needs matter. I want you to know that your greatness is within. You don't have to continue to look out and try to find where you fit in, giving up pieces of your soul along the way, compromising your values to make someone else happy. Love who you are. Accept who you are. See the goodness, the love, the value that is instilled within you. You do not have to live a life of sacrifice. So people ask, LaTalya, what's next for you? But as I look around, I see single moms struggling. I listen to social media, I listen to the news, and they're put in such a negative light. Now, I can't speak for every single mom on the planet, but I know that there are single mothers out there who want to give their child their best. They want to show up as the best mother that they can be, but they're tired. They're tired, they're exhausted, and it's not just the exhaustion from the physical parts of life, the routine that they have to take on day after day. It's also the mental exhaustion. The mental capacity is waning because of all of the major decisions that they have to make on their own, navigating life, getting up in the morning, making sure their kids are good, making sure their kids get where they need to be, making sure that their kids have food on the table, making sure that the right decisions are made about their health, making sure that they get to work so that they can take care of their kids. But inside, many single moms are dying. And so my role, my charge is to step up and send a hand of help. To help single mothers know that there is a passion, a fire within them that has to be lit in order for them to get on track, to reclaim their energy, to transform their mindset, to help them get physically fit and ready for what's to come, and to get aligned with their passion and their goals in life. And so I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to sing about it. I'm going to make little silly videos about it. I'm going to make trainings about it. I'm going to do my part. I'm going to speak about it. I'm going to create courses about it. And I just ask you to follow me. Follow me on this journey if it's a fit for you. Now, I know it's not for everyone, but if it's for you, just know that I am here to support you. And we're going to do this together. And that's a great question. Why do people hire us? Why do they want to work with me? I became a single mom, and it was an isolating experience. I felt the most understood when I spoke to other single mothers, whether they were currently single moms or if they were single moms in the past. I felt like I belonged. I felt like I was in a safe space. And so women, single moms, whether you're a single mother, you were married and you're now divorced and transitioned into single motherhood, they work with me because I get them. I know where they've been and I know what's possible. They also understand that they are in a safe space. They won't be judged, criticized. I help to bring out the genius in them because so often you're doing things on a daily basis, but you don't see the genius in it. You don't see the power in it. And I support them and I help them understand where their power and where their genius lies. I help them create balance between work and personal life, work and their livelihoods at home. Single mothers want to work with me because I help them bring a sense of peace, and I help them to know that they are on a path of purpose, passion, and prosperity. And if you work with me, you know that whether or not we have the same experience, I'm going to find a way to help you tailor a solution for you. It's not cookie cut out in the world. It's not cookie cut in your life. And so the solution that you get to support you in moving further on should not be cookie cut. And now I may not be the sharpest tool in the box, but I'm here for you. I'm passionate about who you are, what you have coming for you and your children, the legacy that you are going to leave, and we're going to make it happen together. What have I enjoyed most about the making of an entrepreneur? Oh my God, just the time spent with Shay tailoring my story, him pulling out all of the gems inside of me and helping it make sense, helping me to see how the different pieces of my life can come together and create a piece of art, a masterpiece that's going to reach out to the masses. That was the greatest part of the experience for me. And then, of course, coming into this amazing team, getting my face done, getting, to pose and just show another level, another layer of expression, being my authentic self and having just this opportunity to reach the world in this way has been dynamic and just absolutely powerful. So thank you for this experience.